Everyone's going to Pandora. Everyone's going into Pandora. Yeah, right. Click.
Hi guys, I'm right over that way. The line's right over there.
I believe how big it is. No? Anybody works? Yeah? Saskia House.
What was it?
25-2. Just say you thought it was 25-2, not 25 past. It's a bit worse to wear, doesn't it?
Where are we at?
Saskia House.
Are we in there?
Yeah.
Emo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely make sure.
It's called a Thai stick.
Yes, sir.
It's like detergent.
You're fine, stop.
So everyone wait for me.
Can you hit back this pants?
And I'm gonna take you to your trailer.
Still Marketplace Buffet.
Travelers, welcome to Harambe here in Africa. So everybody, your server gonna be you, and she gonna take care of you. Okay, so follow me.
Like 5 minutes. Yeah. Safari, so good here.
Take it all the way down. Now you just ruined their video.
You just broke it.
Food on the chocolate monkeys going, no?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think my life is in bed.
Oh my god, it's second trip.
Ground hornbill.
Helmeted guinea fowl.
Guinea fowl.
Round crane. Ostrich.
Ostriches, oh my god.
Flamingo.
That's a lion.
The Lion King.
Kind of a bird.
Secretary bird.
Don't care about birds.
I care about monkeys.
Unless they're girls. But I'll take a picture anyway for Christmas.
They can stay completely under the water for about 8 minutes at a time before they need to come up for air. We'll take a look, see what we can find. Sure enough, out to the left, between the island and the riverbank, there's a whole group of them in the water. A group of hippos is known as a bloat, so it's a bloat of hippos.
I feel a bit bloat. At breakfast.
They are considered nocturnal animals. They're going to spend most of their day just kind of sleeping in the water, climb out of the river at nighttime to eat food when it's cooler. Each hippo eats between 80 and 90 pounds of grass a night. But also kind of exciting, on the island to the left, look in the nests in between the trees. There are baby pelicans out there. These are pink-backed pelicans. They get the name because during mating season, their back will start to turn a light pink color. They blush.
Oh, we get the big birds.
I'm a little bit more worried about the next animal. We are about to drive over a really rickety bridge. As we make our way over this bridge, if you look out to the left, those are Nile crocodile, and they will snap the bones of their prey with their powerful jaws that have a crushing force of 2,000 pounds per square inch. They will even go after prey larger than themselves, like zebra and wildebeest. By larger, I mean bigger or taller, not necessarily longer. It's also known as the upside down tree, so you know which one it is. It's the one on the right. Looks like it's got its roots sticking up in the air. But those are not really roots, they are branches. Baobabs just go leafless about 9 months out of the year to conserve water. We should find some more of them out in the savannah. As we drive around this corner, it's our first view of the savannah and the Serengeti grasslands. These grasslands stretch for miles across East Africa and are home to millions of migrating animals every year, making it kind of like their version of a superhighway. This is the Africa we're working so hard to conserve. Now, already, you're going to start seeing some animals way out in the distance. We're going to loop around to get a little closer. And coming up on the right, you're going to see a pile of broken tree branches, but just to the right of the pile of broken tree branches, the teeny tiny light tan animals with the white faces out there are not babies. Those are springbok. That's as big as they get. They only reach about 3 feet tall. They weigh no more than 100 pounds. They'll jump 6 feet in the air repeatedly when frightened. They literally spring from place to place. Gotta fun. Also known as the painted dogs because of their coloring. They're black, white, kind of an orange-brown color all mixed together. It makes them a little harder to find. But if you look past the fence line, all the way to the left of the clearing, by the trees, on top of the hill in the shade, you might see a couple of them sleeping out there. Now, these dogs are going to look a lot like domestic dogs that you'd be used to, but they are only loosely related. And they happen to be the most successful hunters of mammals in Africa. Each individual giraffe has its own unique pattern. Kind of like how people have their own unique fingerprints. That's how you can tell them all apart from one another. And there's a whole group out to the left, quite appropriately known as a tower. It's a tower of giraffe. And that's appropriate because they start out pretty big. Baby giraffes stand about 6 feet tall when they're born. That means they can look into the eyes of any full-grown adult human, or if you're short, like me, the baby giraffe can be looking right over our heads. Mandrills are the largest of the monkey species. Adult males weigh about 100 pounds at the most. Females like her max out at about 35 pounds, and the babies are just kind of cute. While mandrills are incredibly social amongst themselves, they are very, very shy to outsiders, so keep an eye out. There's probably a couple more in the area as well. Now, we know that's an adult male elephant for a couple of reasons. First of all, he's very large. Secondly, I don't see any other elephants in the area. Adult males are the only ones that wander off on their own like this. Females are always going to stay in herds with the young ones up to the age of about 13. Once they reach 13, they're considered adults. That's when the boys get pushed out of the family group to go off on their own like this or join a loose bachelor group. The girls will continue to stay near their moms as they raise families of their own. Unfortunately, the biggest threats to the elephants are still people. Still being hunted for their ivory tusks. They also face habitat loss due to mining going on out in the Congo. The miners are looking for an ore called coltan. It's used in electronics like cell phones and laptops. So if you want to help out the elephants like the herd coming up on the left, please feel free to recycle electronics when you're finished with them. It's going to reduce the need for the ores. It helps the elephants keep their habitat. Now, this is not just a herd, it is a family group because there is a little one by the rocks underneath the legs of the adult that's standing out there. Let's see if we can get a little easier view. Yeah, it's kind of standing behind the grasses and the rocks out there. We are pretty excited to have a baby elephant on our reserve. We've been waiting a really long time. It was a much anticipated birth, and I say that because female elephants are pregnant for about 22 months before they give birth. We had been waiting just under 2 years to see the baby. Now, based off the size, the little one that we're looking at out here is probably between 8 and 10 months old. They weigh about 300 pounds when they're born. I know it doesn't look over 300 pounds. It's kind of the size of the big one's leg. But that's because the larger elephants out here are huge. But the elephant out to the left, they're the only family group in the area. There's also a flamboyance out here, and it's a group of flamingos. These are greater flamingos coming up on the left, the largest and the lightest pink of the flamingo species. You see the gray ones with the skinny black legs? Those are baby flamingos. Yeah, they start out gray. They're going to turn pink when they get much, much older, because mostly they eat tiny brine shrimp. Brine shrimp is high in something called beta-carotene. That's a pigment that'll turn the flamingos pink. If you look across the flamingos, across the water, there's a few more beautiful views of the elephants out there too. Much, much larger than black rhino. White rhino weigh between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds at their full growth. A group of them is known as a crash. It's a crash of white rhino. I'd like to get a little closer, so we'll keep looping around to see if we can catch up with the crash again. I know why they're keeping their distance. We're headed into cheetah hunting territories. And cheetahs are daytime hunters. They can be kind of hard to find. They tend to blend in really well. So I do recommend keeping a sharp eye out up on the grassy hills to the left. But I wouldn't blame you if instead of looking for cheetah, you decide just to look at the white rhino that's also out here, one a little bit closer to us coming up on the left. Yeah, they don't really need to worry about the cheetah. The cheetah mostly go after smaller animals. They have been causing a lot of trouble in Namibia hunting livestock. The farmers out there have been hunting the cheetah to protect their livestock. Not a good solution because the cheetah, like the one walking around towards the front left of the truck up on top of the hill, they're in danger away from the livestock without endangering the cats, saving their lives. I think it's kind of neat. It's the dog saving the cats out there. First, we're talking about large cats. Coming up on the edge of the rocky hill towards the front left of the truck, that's a lion sitting out there. And he is going to spend about 18 to 20 hours a day doing exactly what he is doing out there, which is absolutely nothing. They spend most of their day inactive. I know, everybody wants to be a cat.
Look at me.
They usually hunt at nighttime because they have excellent night vision. They see about 6 to 7 times better than we do at night. And it's the lioness, like the girl in between the rocks over your left shoulder, that actually do the hunting. The girls go out to hunt. Boys stay back to protect the young ones of the rest of the group. That's how they have their work divided up. Since lions are the only large cats to hunt in large groups, they have stay-at-home dads. We're also getting some more beautiful views of the zebra and the ostrich by the trees. Towards the front right corner of the truck and the grasses by the tree line, you might see some eggs. Those would be ostrich eggs, largest of the bird eggs, weigh about 3 pounds each. There's also some beautiful views of the zebra. The biggest question I always get with zebras, black with white or white with black? It's hard to tell from this angle because it's the noses that give it away. They've got nice black noses, which means this type of zebra are indeed black animals with white stripes. They're more black than white. But of course, the really cool part is that the stripes go down to the skin, so it doesn't really matter. Even underneath their coat, under their hair, they're still striped animals. Kind of neat. But to the left, those are scimitar horned oryx. They get the name, of course, of the beautiful back-swept horns, kind of resemble the Middle Eastern sword called the scimitar, thus scimitar horned oryx.
Got his wings out.
Desert antelope will go about 10 months out of every year without drinking any water at all. That's because they get most of the moistures they need to survive from foods they eat, like the grasses.
Everybody else piles up in the bedroom and keeps each other warm.
Oh my god, I just got He's standing that way.
Alex, yeah. Yeah. USA.
Last name I got is in the fish bag. He's in the dentist fish bag.
Listen, I need you guys to find your best picture boys. Your best boys. You ready for the camera? Everybody freeze.
Yeah, the water's hot, by the way. The water's hot. Warm. Look at me. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, you got it. I'm a party guy. Wow. Holy cow. And when you get to the major
Let's walk back
We could get it. I like this color.
fish, they're wild.
Changing shit. Bouncy ball. That one doesn't. That one
That is cool. Michael, look.
Undertake an amazing Navi rite of passage, flying on the back of this powerful animal called an Ikron, or as we call it, a Banshee. The way you're going to do this is by being matched to something called an avatar. And I'm here to help you guys get ready. But first, we have to scan you for Pandoran microparasites. Alright everyone, stay on your number and move your arms a bit. Okay, start scan. You've all got them. But don't worry, they're very common around these parts. Let's start the decon.
Initiating GMR decon.
Stand still over your number, you're not gonna feel a thing. You're doing great. Almost done here.
They're all clear.
Great. Now let's go over how all this works. Like I said before, you're going to be matched to these things called avatars, which look a lot like the Na'vi. They're created by blending human DNA and Na'vi DNA. Once we match you to an avatar, thanks to a special link chair, your mind will be able to control that avatar. Using avatars to fly this way was all figured out by my boss, Dr. Jackie Ogden. She leads her science team, which is part of the Pandora Conservation Initiative, and we're here in the Valley of Moara studying banshees and their environment. Over a generation ago, this enormous company called the RDA created a lot of damage to the area through their bad mining practices and conflicts with the Na'vi. Just like on Earth, it can take decades for ecosystems to recover. Let's prep the genetic sampling.
I'm on it.
Okay, first we need to find the compatible match of your genetic material with the genetic material of one of the avatar bodies that we already have. Once we do that, you'll be able to link to that avatar and fly. Help us out and move around a bit. Almost. Yes, got him. Now, let's find you your avatar matches. All right, you've all been matched with avatars.
Some of them, somewhere.
She was 13, I was 12. That's all right.